It's a very, as I say, it's a very heavy heart on the video today. I've been off, say, for 2 weeks or so. As I say, it's very heavy heart, I've had to say today, unfortunately, that I've been off videos for a couple of weeks. Obviously, I've been making a lot of videos a week, 2 or 3, some 4 weeks sometimes the last few years. A lot of videos, isn't it? A lot of magic, isn't it? But as I say, the reason I haven't been doing the videos last couple of weeks on the channel, over January, is that unfortunately I had suffered unfortunate bereavement. My mum very sadly passed away. My mother passed away a couple of weeks ago, down in Banbury in England. So it's been very sad indeed for us all. My brother and sister, Sarah and Peter, and also my friends, Anita as well, of course, also my friends around the place, you know what I mean? People sending me messages and everything else. So I haven't been able to do any videos, unfortunately, for over 2 weeks because of all that going on. Of course, it's a very difficult experience, isn't it? For everyone, as you know, if you lost a parent or anything, of course, it's very, very, very difficult, isn't it? And my mum was a lovely lady, lived to 89 years old, and she died, as I say, in hospital a couple of weeks ago. Her name Priscilla, and she's a great person. It's very sad to lose her, of course, and she's a great inspiration to me all my life. I'm 55 years old now. Great inspiration to me all my life. With the magic, of course, and I met a lot of people doing magic over the years. I started magic when I was 10 years old, and I went on to do lots of cabaret performances in the 1980s and 1990s. I went into the travel industry, but I kept on doing magic, and then I made 600 videos on this channel to bring magic to you guys, so I can try and showcase magic around the world for you guys. Beautiful art of magic, illusion that we all love so much. And I've had over 1,000 subscribers, and I've had all these wonderful views. I've had nearly a million views and 45,000 hours of views. So it's really wonderful. People around the world, the whole planet, America, Australia, South America, Europe, people around the whole world, Japan, China, around the whole world, are watching the channel and trying to get into the world of magic. So I owe a lot of that to my mum, obviously, because she helped me start off doing magic in 1980, 81. When I started magic, I was about 11 years old. Like a lot of you guys, I watched Paul Daniels in England, and I watched Copperfield, I watched Lance Burton shows, I watched Stephen Roy shows, I watched Doug Henning shows on the television at the time, and all that stuff. I went on to other shows, Cabaret, and all those shows we enjoy so much, didn't we, over the years, that Best of Magic, and all the magic we see, David Blaine, and all the magicians we watched, and all you guys out there doing magic around the world, and cruise ships and stuff, and everything you do, where you're performing magic, around the world, doing cabaret yourself, doing magic, close-up magic, big magic, small magic, whatever kind of magic you do. So anyways, to say, my mum was a big supporter of all that, obviously, and very, very sad at her passing. As I say, she was 89 years old, and my mum actually, she's kind of, used to get me up to London to magic shops like Davenport's in London, very famous for Davenport's magic shop, 200 years old magic shop in London, probably remember that. And I think at places, Alan Allen, of course, Alan Allen shop, of course, International Magic, all these places. And she, sometimes she'd come with me and my granddad and so on. And as I say, pick up magic, buy magic, learn magic, get magic books, get them back to the house, read lots of magic books, study magic, set up shows. And my mum helped me, advertise shows sometimes along with my dad, and get me out doing gigs, doing shows. They drive me to shows, I was a 15 years old kid driven to somebody's house to do a magic show in somebody's house. You know what I mean? I was living at the time at Swindon and places up north, up Sheffield. I did magic shows up Sheffield area, so I did an awful lot of that sort of stuff. It was very exciting. And my mum was instrumental, along with my dad, but mum was instrumental in helping me do magic. She'd sit watching me do routines, and I did Young Magician of the Year in 1987 with Anthony Owen, actually, late Anthony Owen, my friend Anthony, and that's and she come up to Magic Circle with me, and I'd do a show. I was only 16 as a kid, and then I used to do shows in Reading Junior Day, shows in the 1980s and 90s. I used to do shows in Reading. There were lots of magicians there. I used to do shows. Paul Kiev was there, Anthony Owen was there, Bobby Bernard was there, Alan Allen came to it. Many people came to it, back in the day. John Paffreyman used to come and be like, back in the day. That was my teenage years. So I was doing magic shows at these places like Reading Magic Junior Day in England. So I was always doing stuff, you know what I mean? And My mum. I think me and my mum went up. She took me. We went to meet Paul Daniels when he was really, really famous. I met him down in Weston-Mare with Tommy Rowe. And Tommy Rowe was friends with my parents. I got to meet Paul Daniels. I was only 17 years old. Imagine 17 years old meeting a big TV star like that when you're 17, 16. I remember that, you know what I mean? And she came with me to that to meet Paul Daniels. And then I met Paul Daniels again. He did a show really close to me. I sat very close to the front. And he was doing a show pretty much towards me. I remember that was about 1989. I was at university. So, you know, I had a lot of experiences in magic, you know what I mean? And I remember going with Savoy Theatre in 1991, I think. And my mum came with me, and my dad came and we went backstage to meet Paul Daniels and all that sort of thing. And Paul Daniels performed at Savoy Theatre. So it was really, and my brother came, Peter came too. So it was all very interesting. A lot of magic stuff kept happening. It was really weird. It kept happening, magic this, magic that. Performances, you know. Then I went abroad. When I went abroad to perform magic, you know, I went abroad to perform magic as a rep and stuff. I performed in Turkey, Antalya, Side, Alanya. Performed in Bodrum. Performed in Gran Canaria. Playa de las Americas. Playa del Ingles. Performed in Cyprus, Navarro Hotel, Cyprus. I did magic all over the place. I did so many shows, you know, and. Mum used to come out of me and watch me performing, help me perform, you know, support me. She came to Rhodes when I was performing, repping and performing magic in Rhodes in Greece. Mum came out to me, you know what I mean? She came out and supported me in Greece, you know what I mean? And Lindos and Rhodes, these places. I was doing magic all over the place, Falaraki, Lindos. My mum used to come with me and, you know, support me. Do you know what I mean? And that kind of stuff. And all the reps are like, oh, your mum's lovely, you know? So it's really fun, that kind of stuff, and that was great, you know what I mean. So my mum was a massive support to me, you know what I mean, as a magician, a young person, any young person like you, anyone doing magic or performance, or anything you do, whether you sing, a dance, a magician, perform, whatever you do, you know, it's great to have a parent like my mum was, or my dad was as well, but mum, you know, always there for you, helping you out, giving advice, watching performance, criticising you, saying you're good, that wasn't good, I enjoyed that, you know what I mean. Now, once I used to film myself, and I had so many, like, you know, I'd film myself, and I was like 16, like doing the burnt restore note routine, magic routines, and that sort of stuff, trying to copy like other magicians, you know, as well, as you do when you're a teenager, aren't you, so much. And my mum would be sat there, you know, watching me, or sitting with me hours and hours and hours filming things and getting bored and falling asleep while I'm trying to film, videotape my act, you know. So there was a lot of good stuff going on. In those days, big video cameras used to have. So I was gonna, and I did some big show. I did a big show at my college. I was about 19. I did a big show, 18, for my whole of my sixth form college. It was like about 200-300 people turn up one dinner time in 1989 in Swindon in Wiltshire, in England, and I did a big magic show. And I was performing for half an hour in front of all my peers, all my colleagues, all these kids, that's, you know, college kids, you know what I mean? I'm a magician, I'm 18 performing this big show to all these college people, you know. It's pretty scary when you're 18 doing a show for all these girls and kids, you know what I mean, girls you might fancy, you know, all that in the crowd, all the, you know, the people watching it. And I'm only 18, did a big show. I did Lincoln Rings and all that. I did electric chairs, Lincoln Rings, burnt, restore money. I did chop, cut, cup and ball, all kinds of routines. And my mum was there. She came and supported me, helped me set up the props, went and watched the show. You know what I mean? I'm only 18, and I went to audition like you probably did. Many people did for shows. Opportunity Knocks, New Faces, and I did Opportunity Knocks audition down in Cardiff in Wales. My mum drove me all the way to Cardiff. You know, I did a big show in Cardiff. And my mum supported me there the whole time, watched me do the show, came back. I also did a magic show audition again. I think it was another show I did at the Riverside Studios in London, which is where they did shows. At TFI Friday was done there. Many big shows, Riverside Studios. Many big things have been on there. And I did a big audition there, you know what I mean? My mum came along, supported me. I was so nervous, you know, and I was about 22 years old. So like a lot of people, you know, like a lot of you guys, you know, who are in entertainment, and if you've been in showbiz entertainment world and done bits and pieces in entertainment and stuff, you know, lots of shows and things, you know, your mum and dad come along, don't they, support you, whether you might have done the X Factor, you might have done other auditions and things. I was also doing auditions. I eventually did audition for Thompson's entertainment reps, and I just came to that. I did a show in the West End. I think performed at the Adelphi Theatre in London or something, the Garrick Theatre or something. I performed on that stage. I was only like 22, you know, you know, and my mum came along, watched me do the whole show. So it was pretty interesting, what I was doing. I was doing it 20 years old, 22 years old. But anyway, I got on to make all these videos, and I love magic, and like you love magic. I love the art of magic, and I love it so much, the art of magic, and it's been brilliant for me, magic, all my life. It's been a fantastic thing, whether doing show performances, doing videos for you, trying to bring magic, other magicians to showcase to you on the channel. I've always been trying to do that with the channel, you know what I mean? And so my mum's death was quite a shock a couple of weeks ago. For me, out of the blue, she was okay, she had pneumonia, and suddenly passed away really, really quickly. And I guess many of you have had that experience, haven't you? Probably you don't expect them to pass on, suddenly they pass on really, really quickly. I didn't see it coming. At Christmas time, I was with Christmas with Anita and my mum at Christmas time, and she was okay, not too bad. And then suddenly she passed on, so it was 2 weeks later, so it was quite a shock to suddenly have that. And obviously, it was a big thing to go for, obviously, for all of us, and it was experience. I wouldn't want to go through again. It was a tough experience for me, my brother Peter, my sister Sarah, and also for Anita and other friends of my children, Luke and Arian and Joe and Christopher and other people. It's a big shock for everyone, and she was such a big matriarchal figure in our family, and of course, like I guess like in your family, your mum, maybe did a lot to help support you when you were a kid and helped you out. I was lucky that my mum was very supportive, and my dad too. But I was very supportive. I'm very lucky having a very supportive mother. You know what I mean, in my life, and that's a big thing for anybody. Whether you're doing, taking the plunge, going overseas to work abroad. You're going to work in Greece, Spain, Turkey. You're going to work, America, Florida. You're going to go and do work, whether you're doing entertainment work, whatever work you're doing abroad. It's nice to have parents supportive of you as you get on the plane and fly off. So I mean, that a lot of my life was abroad, so 5 years abroad. So for me, having a parent like that is a big thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? Supporting you, there for you, coming out to see you. And my mum was really supportive in that way. So I think I was very lucky to have a brilliant mother, I really was lucky to have a brilliant mother. And she did great. She did good innings at 8 or 9 years old, It was wonderful. And I think a lot of people who are obsessed certainly with art. My brother's written a book about David Bowie, Bowie, God, Search for Life and Death in God, which this book he's written, which is fantastic. And I'll put a picture up of the book, which is great because my brother's into music and stuff and that kind of art side of things, and I was into magic, you know what I mean? And so my mum supported me and my brother an awful lot in that kind of way. And I think it's wonderful that Peter's written this wonderful book about David Bowie, which is the most groundbreaking book probably David Bowie, one of them ever written. It's a fantastic book. It's probably the most amazingly in-depth look at David Bowie's music and his lyrics and writing. It's a fantastic book, so do check it out, guys. It's on all kinds of Amazon, Waterstones, all kinds of places. You can get this book. But I mean, my mum was always there. This is the point. My mum was always there behind the scenes, always supporting us. So my mum was an artist. She was an artist. She painted 1,000 paintings, since the 1950s. She lived up in Highgate. She did exhibitions at Lord Air House in Highgate, which is a beautiful house in Highgate Hill. And she did exhibitions around the country: Peterborough, Swindon, Sheffield, Chesterfield. All kinds of places, Oxfordshire, Banbury area. She did exhibitions. You know what I mean? She was like a Yoko Ono in a way of art. She was quite weird. She did kind of weird paintings, and they were very beautiful paintings. She painted, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of paintings over the years, and she'd always knock a new painting off. Always every couple of weeks you see she did a new painting, painting all kinds of stuff: people, animals, cats, dogs, everything from cats, dogs, fish, I think, to to people, painting all kinds of stuff, and that kind of art inspires you, doesn't it? To see it makes you want to paint, makes you want to do art yourself, whether you're a performance artist or music songwriter, performing art with magic, you know what I mean, or entertainment comedy, it makes you want to perform, doesn't it? And so she was inspiring that way. The sheer amount of painting she did, I mean, there were loads of them. Maybe I'll do an art exhibition with my brother and sister, Sarah and Peter, about my mum's art. I mean, I'll do it, and thanks to Janine Stevens for that idea as well, and Guest Stevens, because it's a brilliant thing, isn't it, to be able to, to do all the art and leave the art for generations to come, so people in 100 years' time can see the art and hopefully they love the art, that your mum did in 1960s, 70s, bohemian art and all kind of art she did, you know what I mean? So it's interesting, painting people around the country, painting people in cafes, painting people in shops, painting people normally, doing portraits of people. My mum did all that. She's a very talented person. She wrote a bit, she She did a lot of art, a lot of paintings. She loved animals, she loved horses, and so she's a great person, really, and a lot of inspiration. And inspiration I probably didn't even realise, looking back at it now, over the last 50 years, how much inspiration she probably gave to me and my brother and sister in that kind of way, in an artistic kind of way, that you can't explain, that kind of, that kind of like real supportive sort of art that you get, supportive kind of help you get from your parents, don't you? You know what I mean? You don't realise it. I know other magicians. I know who do, people do magic. Their parents are so supportive, and people do sing and dance and stuff. Parents are so supportive because it's wonderful to have a child also who's very talented, but also it's nice to have a parent who's got a weird talent like art, who's such a good painter. You know what I mean? So Mum played a bit piano, like she liked Chopin, that sort of stuff. She did a lot of paintings, a lot of art. She loved animals, cats, dogs. And at one time I think she had 4 cats and a dog and about, I think, and also about 20 gerbils at one time in the house. Do you know what I mean? In a cage. So a lot of different things, she collecting animals, and also used to try and support animals overseas, save the dolphins, save the whale. She was all into that, IFAW. Animal welfare charities. She was always trying to help them, save the donkey, save the horse charities. Mum was always supporting them, chimpanzee and Borneo charities. She was always trying to support those sort of charities. She was always doing that. I always find loads of letters and charities all the time, supporting them. And she's also a very Christian lady. She's very supportive in the church, support my dad. She's very supportive in the church of England, very, very supportive indeed in that kind of way, and helping church and that kind of stuff. Very, very spiritual lady in that kind of way as well, very supportive in spirituality and faith. She had a big faith in God. So it's very, 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 very support my dad. So very, 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 supportive person. Mum was in many, many ways. But this video is really about her. Not so much about me, but about her. But it's also about how she's inspired, influenced me, and also my brother and sister, surely, and other people to pursue art a bit, enjoy art, and also I think the sheer pleasure of doing paintings, art. It's like creating videos. It's not about the money. It's not about the material so much, is it? It's a spiritual world. Now, there's a material world, spiritual world, the world of the heart, spirituality, along with the material world we're in, but also the spiritual world. And I think that, you've got to celebrate spirituality and the joy you get from creating art with your videos, paintings, music, dance, whatever you do, or acting to create kind of art to the people. There's a joy to it. It's not all about money, is it? It's actually about bringing that simple joy, bringing art to you, isn't it? And it's a lovely feeling that you can bring something that makes people really happy, you know what I mean, to people, isn't it? It's lovely to feel that you can do that, to bring something really happy to people, isn't it? It's a lovely feeling that you can do that, and make people feel happier by doing your art. And for me, it was always, since a kid, it was art of conjuring, magic, illusion, tricks, jokes. It was my life, and performing to kids, making trying to make hundreds of thousands of people. I performed in amphitheatres in Turkey. I'd have 1,000 people there performing, ring and rope routine, couple of stall rope routine, cards across routines, magic. Just magic to all these people. And it gives, and other people around you, they're all joyful, you're joyful, they're joyful, everyone's joyful. It brings so much happiness to people. You feel so good in yourself, bringing so much happiness to people. It's a bit like seeing that Take That documentary that's on telly about Take That going away, coming back together. And their level of show business and becoming really successful and bringing back 15 years ago all their act again, and all the people who went to see Take That. And any level of performance, of performance and art, whatever you're doing, I think it's wonderful to go away and come back to your art, isn't it? Enjoy it, and it's inspiring. So anyway, as I say, the point really is my mum was. It's lovely to remember my mum. 89 years old, an artist, mother, painter, also very good. She's very involved with the church and very, very good person in that way. Very kind person, giving person, always there to lend me an ear, always there to listen, always there to help out magic, always there to give advice, always there for me and my brother and sister, always there for my dad, always there to help with Anita, who helped an awful lot, my other half Anita, an awful lot to get support her Christmases, Easters, and the last few years, and try and give her a nice time. She was a widow for about the last 5 years, so it was lovely that we could try and be with her and support her the last few years of her life and give her as much as we could support for her. as I say, she became fairly immobile the last couple of years. So I did try our best to try and give her a happy life, which we could do, and the carers who looked after my mum and everything else last couple of years, and then everyone was lovely, wonderful, lovely people around who really looked after her so much, and she was really heart of my life, And I've got my children, I've got my needs, I've got my children as well, of course, and everything else, and I've been married before and everything else, and I want to get married again, and I hope it all happens well. But I just always want to, remember that the heart of my life was my mum, and she really was a heart central of my life, and it's a great loss before I get upset to lose her, and really it's a terrific loss to lose her. So I hope that I hope some of my words from this magic conjuring channel, can bring a bit of help to you, and particularly if your mum and dad, are getting on and struggling, and I hope like I did, you get the joy and love, and hope your parents get support that they need, particularly in old age. My mum had a lot of lovely support, lovely people around her supporting her all the time, family, friends, and carers around the place supporting her right to her last, to the end of her life. So it's wonderful. And also, when people don't forget, you never know, do you? You never know how long people are going to live, do you? You just don't know. You go through life, you don't know, do you? You think your mum's going to make it to 100 years old, and then it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, does it? Suddenly they're gone, and it's a very big shock, isn't it? Going from them being alive, And as a spiritual person myself, I'm a very spiritual person. I think I try to be. I think that it's a big shock, isn't it? Going from them being alive to not being alive. It's a big shock, and of course it's very, very, very difficult experience. And anyway, thank you so much for listening to me talk about what's happened, and why I've been off the videos for a couple of weeks. So I'll try and make more magic videos into this year 2026. But I think it was a big shock and a loss to lose my mum. As I say, this year, a big centre of my life, big heart of my life, big inspiration of my life, and my brother and sister, and my dad, and a lot of other people as well. And we'll always remember her very, very much, very dearly. Okay, thanks for listening to my message today. I'll try and get back to doing my normal magic videos very soon. Okay, thanks for listening, and as always, keep subscribing to the channel. Please do, guys. As always, to support the channel, please do, guys. Subscriptions are free, and I appreciate subscribing to liking the videos. As always. So keep the channel going. Without you, I can't do it. So I need the support, as always, with the channel. Keep watching, subscribing, liking the videos. As simple as that. It just keeps the channel going. As simple as that. And I hope we can bring more content with magic to you. Illusions. So I love you all, guys. See you soon. Thanks for listening today. January 26th, I think it was something today. 2026. Love you all. See you soon. And bye for now.